I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's News Update. President Barack Obama has now joined in the global campaign to honor the Munich 11 at the upcoming Olympic Games. National Security Council spokesman Tommy Vietor said Thursday in an email to Yahoo News, "We absolutely support the campaign for a minute of silence at the Olympics to honor the Israeli athletes killed in Munich." The National Jewish Democratic Council commended Obama, and JDC Chair Mark Stanley and President and CEO David Harris said, "The support of the President is a tremendous help to the voices in our community, pushing the International Olympic Committee to do the right thing and recognize the loss suffered by Israel, the Jewish people, and the international community." The Jewish Federations of North America applauded the President as well. The federations have helped lead the broader effort for the moment of silence, and a petition spearheaded by the JCC of Rockland County, New York, together with the slain athletes' families, now has over 100,000 signatures. The petition will be hand-delivered to the International Olympic Committee by Munich 11 widows Anki Spitzer and Ilana Romano and the JCC on Tuesday. Ynet reports that U.S. Ambassador to Israel Dan Shapiro expressed Washington's condolences Friday on the terror attack in Bulgaria, which claimed the lives of 5 Israelis, and said the U.S. would work with Israel in the investigation. When asked about whether the U.S. was concerned about Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's statement accusing Iran via Hezbollah of orchestrating the attack, Shapiro stated Israel has the right of self-defense. Shapiro added that no decision has been made regarding a possible retaliation over the attack, and that given the close cooperation between Washington and Jerusalem, future measures will most likely be discussed between the two. Shapiro said that while it was too early to come to any conclusions, signs pointing to Iran and Hezbollah's involvement were, quote, clearly evident. A spokesman for the Pentagon would agree. Pentagon spokesman George Little stated that there are signs that the Iran-backed terror organization was responsible. Little was quoted by AFP as saying, "The attack does bear some of the hallmarks of Hezbollah, but we're not in a position to make any final determination on who was responsible." Although there are no specific known threats against New York Jewish venues, up to 100 critical response vehicles have been deployed in New York Jewish neighborhoods and around synagogues following the attack in Bulgaria. Similar precautions were taken in March following the attack at a Jewish school in Toulouse. The International Coalition on Mosques, or ICOM, and the Anti-Defamation League welcomed a ruling by a federal judge in Tennessee Thursday, ordering a local county to conduct a final inspection so that a new mosque could open in time for the start of the Islamic holy month of Ramadan. The ICOM was formed by the ADL to help Muslim communities confronting opposition to the legal building, expansion, or relocation of their mosques. ADL National Director Abraham Foxman issued a statement on behalf of ICOM, calling the ruling a, quote, significant victory for religious freedom in America. In 2010, local citizens filed a lawsuit to block the mosque's construction, and the ICOM filed a brief on its behalf. Most of the claims against the construction were dismissed, but the mosque was not given a certificate of occupancy. The Justice Department then filed a lawsuit alleging that denial of the certificate violated the Federal Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act. The ADL successfully lobbied for this law in 2000. The JTA reports that after a recent ruling in Cologne, Germany, which said circumcision could be considered a criminal act, Germany's parliament called on its government to step in to protect the right to religious-based circumcision of boys, as long as it's done by a medically qualified practitioner who avoids inflicting excessive pain. An overwhelming majority of German lawmakers passed a non-binding resolution Thursday urging Chancellor Angela Merkel's administration to submit a law this fall, ensuring that the ritual practiced by both Jews and Muslims not be criminalized. And finally, the new PR and communications manager for the United Jewish Israel Appeal of Great Britain, Joe Millis, has responded to a piece that ran in the Jerusalem Post, criticizing his appointment to the position because he is a harsh critic of Israel. As we reported to you yesterday, former Australian Jewry leader Issy Liebler, now a Jerusalem Post columnist and frequent commentator on Shalom TV, condemned Britain's UJIA head Mick Davis for giving Millis the job, claiming that Millis had, among other things, called for the boycott of goods from the West Bank. Millis responded to the piece on the UJIA website, where he said he is not, nor has he ever been, anti-Israel, saying, "I wear my Israeli citizenship as a badge of honor. I am a Zionist and proud to be such. I do not see being a Zionist as a pejorative, quite the opposite." Millis says he opposes the BDS movement in all its forms and that his comments about Israel in comparison to Syria and Iran were taken out of context. Millis said he was deeply saddened that his views on Israel were, quote, misrepresented in a way that could harm causes which I care deeply about. And that's Shalom TV's news update. I'm Teisha Bader.